Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2 is out, and let's talk about everything that you need to know. First, let's just jump right on into everything that's changing and what's new. Starting off with the map. So the map now has 4 new POIs where you guys are going to be finding the new bosses that are going to drop the mythic. The new bosses, which we're going to get into in just a little bit, are going to be Cerberus, Ares, Zeus, and Hades. Now we're also going to be getting some new weapons as well. Now these are going to be coming in mythic variations and non-mythic variations that you guys can find scattered around the island, and these are the new weapons. For the new guns, we're going to get a new SMG. We have Hades Harbinger SMG. I think when you find it around the map, it'll just be called the Harbinger SMG. This is what it's going to look like. From what I can tell, it has some serious recoil. Next, let's talk about Cerberus's Gatekeeper shotgun. Now you can find the Gatekeeper shotgun scattered around the map just like all of these guns. However, Cerberus's form is going to be the mythic variation, and this is a 3-shot shotgun. You're going to take 3 shots with it and then have to reload the 3 shots, and you can keep shooting at that fire rate. Next, let's talk about Ares Warforged AR. This is what it's going to look like. Again, I think when we find all these guns around the map, it's just going to be called the Warforged AR, but from what I can tell, it's going to have a pretty good recoil but a really high damage rate. Now, I didn't really think we were going to be getting a DMR this season. I kind of hope not. I'm not really a fan of the DMR. However, if you are a fan of the DMR, Zeus is going to be dropping a DMR as well. It is going to be called the Huntress DMR, and I really don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but this is what it looks like. Next, even though this is not a gun, this is still a weapon that you can find around the map in chests, and you can pick it up from Zeus as well if you defeat him as a boss. His lightning bolt. Now, this can be used to kind of shoot you in the sky, and from what I can tell, you get 3 shots with the lightning bolt before it has to recharge. Now, let's talk about everything new with the medallions. I'm going to be going into all the details of the medallions in just a little bit when I go into the details of the bosses, but we do have a new location for the medallion. So last season, when you would defeat a boss, they would drop a medallion. However, this season is very different. In order to claim the medallion, you have to go wherever the boss's location is, and you have to find their statue, which is like a gold statue, and you have to loot the statue, and the statue will drop the medallion. So this is very different than last season in regards to that. However, you will still see your location if you pick up the medallion. Another thing new this season to Fortnite is a different type of chest. So last season we had a blue epic glowing chest. This season it's going to be a gold glowing, I think I'm gonna call it just an epic chest as well, and you can find Zeus's lightning bolt in here and also wings in here, among other things as well. We're also going to be getting 2 new weapon mod abilities. One is a thermal scope, which will have the ability to toggle on and off, and the second is a speed grip. From what I can tell, all the other mods are still going to be there from last season as well. Hopefully. We're also going to be getting new job boards that are themed as well. There's going to be a treasure board, a bounty board, an airdrop board, and a vehicle board. Now let's talk about all the things that are returning before we get into the bosses and all of the details. The first thing we've touched on is the medallions, that they are coming back, but they are going to be quite a bit different in regards to the location and what the perks are going to be. However, like I covered, you are still going to have your location revealed if you're carrying the medallions, and you can still stack all of them, which is actually crazy because the perks on all these medallions are very different. Another thing that is coming back is in order to get the mythic boss weapon, you do have to defeat the boss. Now there are 4 different bosses around the map to defeat, and so if you want to get one of their mythic weapons, you are still going to have to defeat them just like last season. Another thing returning but a little bit differently is ruined reels. I'm so excited. If you guys watch my live streams, you know that ruined reels is my #1 landing spot. However, they did make some tweaks and they restored ruined reels, so it's no longer going to be called ruined reels, but it will be called restored reels. Considering some of the places on the map are different than last season, I'm very happy that Ruined is making a comeback. Another thing coming back this season are mod benches. Mod benches, I was kind of on the fence about originally. I'm still kind of on the fence about, to be totally honest. However, if they're gonna be in the game, I'm going to utilize them, but they are coming back, and from what I can tell, they're going to be a little bit different. Now, let's talk about the returning weapons this season. Now, the returning weapons include the Burst SMG, last season's sniper rifle, which this is gonna have mixed reviews about. I loved the sniper rifle last year. How did you guys feel about it? Last season. The pistol's coming back. The Nemesis AR is coming back. The Frenzy shotgun is coming back as well, which I used a lot in Zero build this season. I'm really happy it's not vaulted. The pump shotgun is coming back as well this season. Now let's talk about the vaulted weapons from last season that we're not going to see this season, unfortunately. We're not going to be seeing the grappler, which I used to call the Attack on Titan. The grappler is gone this season. The crash pads are also being vaulted. The lock-on pistol has been vaulted vaulted as well. This is gonna have really mixed reviews, I feel like, but bye-bye to the lock-on pistol. The riot shield is vaulted. Thank God. I'm so happy that the riot shield is gone. I'm sorry if you were a fan of that, but that was like my kryptonite. I hated that thing so much, but the riot shield has officially been vaulted. Pizza party has been vaulted, which makes sense since we're not really in that Ninja Turtle era anymore. The reusable shield breaker EMP is gone as well this season. The Metal Gear Solid mythic boxes, I don't really know how this was a thing, but those are gone this season. Thank God. The Hyper SMG is gone and the Scar is gone. Sadly, I really enjoyed using the Scar last season. It's not called the Scar. I actually forget the name of it. I've just been calling it the Scar because when it originally was put out, it was called the Scar. Now let's talk about all the new bosses, the medallion perks, and where you can find them all at. Now the first boss we're going to talk about is Zeus. Now Zeus can be found in Mount Olympus, which looks like this. Now when you defeat Zeus, you can get his Thunderbolt, but I do believe you can also get the Huntress DMR. His medallion is going to be found in a golden statue in Mount Olympus. Now Zeus's medallion is called the Aspect of Speed. Now what this perk is going to allow you to do, run a lot faster as well as jumping a lot higher while you're sprinting, which will be really good for like evading if you're getting shot at and you're trying to run away. I think that would be really good to get away. The next new boss we're going to be talking about is Hades, and Hades can be found in the underworld. Now when you defeat Hades, he's going to drop the Hades mythic Harbinger SMG, and you can find his medallion in his golden statue in the underworld. Now Hades medallion is different than anything we've ever seen before. It's called the Aspect of Siphon. Now what this is going to allow you to do is gain health for every player you kill. Now I'm not sure if it's going to count as health or shield or both. That is something I'm really interested in seeing. However, this is definitely going to be the most sought after medal or medallion in the game in my opinion. Now let's talk about Cerberus. You can find Cerberus in the Grim Gates, which look like this. And if you want Cerberus's medallion, what you're gonna do is go into the Grim Gates and look for his golden shiny statue and loot it, and that will give you his newest medallion. Now, when you defeat Cerberus, he is going to drop the Cerberus Mythic Gatekeeper Shotgun, which is that 3-shot shotgun that we talked about earlier. Now, Cerberus's medallion is going to be called the Aspect of Agility. Now, this is gonna allow you to travel through the spirit world and gain charges of underworld dashes over time for a quick burst of mobility. Now, last but not least, let's talk about Ares. Ares can be found in the Brawler's Battleground. Now, when you defeat Ares, he's going to drop the Mythic Warforged AR, which again is supposed to have a huge increase of damage, but it does have a high fire rate and a really high recoil. Like all the other bosses, his medallion can be found in his statue as well. Now, Ares' medallion is called the Aspect of Combat, and what this does is this increases ranged weapons damage rate, which definitely seems pretty OP. In my opinion, this would be the second best medallion to get this season. Now let's talk about the umbrella this season. It's going to be called the Olympian, and this is what you're going to be getting if you get an unranked win. However, if you do play ranked and you get a ranked win, this is what you get. This is called the Pantheon Ranker, and honestly, they both look really good. I'll definitely be trying to get both umbrellas this season. Now, that's pretty much everything summed up in this new season for you guys in Chapter 5, Season 2. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to support me in the Fortnite item shop, feel free to use my creator code, LotsOfBunnies, and it's free for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love your faces. I will see you in the next video.